Just 2 months on the job, Sheriff Nathan Lewis of Hemphill County faced what would soon become the most mysterious case of his career.
It was very strange.
He's talking about the disappearance of Thomas Brown, the senior class president missing since Thanksgiving Day 2016. After a night out with friends, he stopped for gas, then vanished. Or did he?
We observed a similar vehicle, the same type, make, and model of the vehicle Tom Brown was in throughout the night in Canadian.
This video shows several of those sightings. It's from the Abraham Trading Company at the corner of 2nd Street in Maine, about a half mile from where Thomas filled up around 11:30 that night. 90 minutes later, a red SUV similar to his Dodge Durango goes by for the first time. Do you think that was Tom driving?
I can't be for sure. We could not see who was in the vehicle.
Did it look like just one person in the car?
Couldn't tell with the camera view, the camera angles, the lighting.
When Thomas missed his midnight curfew, the family went out searching. At one point on the video, the mystery red truck goes by. Then 9 minutes later, Thomas's brother Tucker passes, heading in the same direction. Despite the close encounter, their paths never cross. Could you figure out a destination?
It was just random all through the night.
Then just before 6 a.m. on the edge of town, a camera at the county's recreational complex shows the red truck turn into a dirt road which leads to a water treatment facility. 2 hours later, it's where Christian Webb spotted Thomas's SUV from the air.
That's, to me, when I realized something was wrong and that someone had to have played a part in his disappearance.
That's because Christian says she never knew that road or water treatment facility existed. Penny Meek doesn't believe her son Thomas did either.
Just right over the hill is residential houses. And you notice coming into the place, we had all of our pavilion recreational area. It's just right here on the edge of town.
That is a remote area. I don't believe that he had ever been to that location.
So what's the connection in your mind when you found his car there?
That somebody else drove it there or somebody made him drive it there.
And she believes that person is no stranger to Canadian.
Because of the location of the car, it leads me to believe that somebody from Canadian left it there. Not everybody knows where that's at.
Do you think someone in Canadian knows what happened?
Oh, I believe there are people in Canadian who know what happened.
Do you think you know those people?
I think I know some of them, yes.
Canadian has about 2,500 people living here. All over, you'll see signs like this: "Gone, where is Thomas Brown?" It is unlikely to find one person in this area that doesn't know the story, and the family hopes nobody forgets. They want answers. Thomas's family believes whatever happened that night happened at the Frank Oil gas station on 2nd Street.
There was no cameras actually on that gas station. It would have been nice if there would have been. We would have liked to have seen what he did at the gas station or what possibly could have happened.
What's your thought about what happened after he gassed up?
I think that he was definitely taken by force. I don't see this as a runaway situation. I don't see it as a suicide situation. If it was suicide, we would have found his body.
Detectives say there was no sign of a struggle inside Thomas's truck, but a small drop of blood was found on the driver's side door.
The blood indicated to us that it was not fresh, and it was very small, as if you were to get a cut on your knuckle or finger.
However, that's not what a team of private investigators believe.
I hired the private investigator within about 5 days because our sheriff was newly elected. He is young, so there is, some inexperience.
The private investigator who declined our request for an interview works separately from the sheriff, but the two share information. He believes the blood could be from a struggle. He also says a shell casing from a .25 caliber pistol was found in Thomas's truck.
I don't understand why the car was returned to me within hours of Thomas going missing.
Was it, in your opinion, treated like a crime scene?
No.
The private eye says a cadaver dog got a brief hit inside Thomas's Dodge Durango and at Lake Marvin, not far from where the SUV was abandoned. He believes Thomas is dead and that foul play is involved.
It's hard to say those kind of things without evidence to back it up or support it.
Do you think he's alive?
I do. I have no evidence to support the fact that he is dead. I don't.
But if there is no evidence that something sinister happened, the family can't understand why the sheriff is going to such great lengths to keep the case concealed.
I do feel like being an ongoing investigation, the case does not need to be open to the public.
In December, when the Texas State Attorney General ruled the sheriff had to turn over evidence requested by the family, he filed a lawsuit against the Attorney General.
That's all legal stuff that I don't have to handle.
But it was the sheriff's attorneys that filed the counter lawsuit.
There's, comes a point to where there is a suspect or there is criminal activity, then I've got to have everything, all my ducks in a row to get that thing done and get it accomplished and push it through the justice system.
Attorney ROSANNA, who represents the Brown family, believes releasing some evidence, including all of the video showing what's believed to be Thomas's truck that night, could finally bring the family and the community some closure.
We see crime videos all the time on the news or on shows, and maybe it'll spark something with somebody.
But so far, the only video the family has been able to obtain is the one from the 2nd Street business, which was given to them by the owner. Is it something that you would release to the media?
Not at this point.
Okay, even though it may lead to tips, information?
We want the investigation to stay not public.
For a mother who's been desperately trying to find her son for more than a year, that simply doesn't make sense.
It seems to me that it's more political than it is about a young man's life who hangs in the balance, or about a family who should be able to grieve their son who is possibly not living.
Sheriff Lewis says he understands her frustrations.
I absolutely do. It has been hard not telling the family and anybody, things that I'd like to tell them. But it's not hiding anything from them.
He says the community can rest assured that the investigation is moving forward.
There's so much happening. There's things we're looking at. There's things that we still have in a crime lab. There's things that we're still analyzing that's coming from Texas DPS. We want to get the piece of the puzzle that leads us to Tom Brown.
One thing both teams of investigators agree on, someone in Canadian isn't telling the truth. You think someone knows something?
Someone knows something.
What would you say to them?
Come forth. Let's get this taken care of.
But until then, everyone has their own answer to one question that's on everyone's mind. Where is Thomas Brown? You believe he was murdered?
Yes, I do.
By someone he knew?
Yes, just because of how small Canadian is.
That's gotta be hard to swallow.
It is. It makes going home very difficult.
Is your brother alive?
I believe that, yes, he is alive.
Held against his will, somewhere he doesn't want to be, a trafficking situation.
It's all been through my head. I don't like any of it.
Do you think your son is out there?
I would like to think that he is, but I have no idea.
A reward of $40,000 is being offered for information regarding the whereabouts of Thomas Brown. If you know anything, you're asked to call the Hemphill County Sheriff's Office. That phone number is 1-806-323-5326. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.